Before the wells, women used to walk miles to have potable water, and also children used to have diarrhea and waterborne disease.
Sesudah saya akan masuk, saya nggak bisa masuk karena rumah saya sudah tertimbun.
In the whole village, there is only 3 families right now that have enough food for the 10 coming days. Apart those 3 families, the remaining families of this village do not have food for the 10 coming days.
In emergencies, needs are urgent. Water, food, medicines, and shelter become scarce. Islamic Relief has developed emergency relief programs to support those seeking aid during war, crises, and natural disasters. During emergencies, Islamic Relief plans with the international community the best means of delivering services to victims.
What Islamic Relief is trying to do is much more than just emergency relief. We are trying to rebuild the lives of the people who lived here.
As a result of its experience, Islamic Relief has gained the trust of many international organizations, including the United Nations World Food Program and the International Red Cross. The basic needs of children can be summed up in some of their first words: Mom, Dad. But many children have no one to answer to this need for provision.
This is one of our orphans from one-to-one sponsorship. Her name is Ulfa Amna. She doesn't have parents anymore because of the tsunami.
Islamic Relief's Orphan Support Program, which includes one-to-one sponsorships, aims to provide basic necessities to orphans by improving their health and nutrition and implementing community projects to support orphans educationally, socially, and morally. Life and death are inextricably linked to the availability and cleanliness of water. Islamic Relief helps to ease this hardship by promoting good sanitation practices, as well as providing clean drinking water for suffering communities.
I spoke to a 70-year-old lady, Munawwar Jahan. Half of her life she said she spent fetching water.
With an approach that is unique to each area, Islamic Relief brings a refreshing and healthy response to the contamination that causes sickness and poverty. For millions of people across the developing world, living in poverty keeps even basic education far out of reach. Islamic Relief operates many projects around the world that help children as well as adults gain access to education.
We have more attendance at school now because the school is just near them in the village.
Whether it's constructing a school in a remote village or offering breakfast for preschoolers in an impoverished neighborhood, Islamic Relief helps foster education in many ways. When education is available for all, learning becomes an opportunity to fulfill goals and break free from the cycle of poverty.
इधर गांव है, इधर कोई अस्पताल नहीं है, इसलिए मैं डॉक्टर बनना चाहती हूँ. इधर कोई इलाज करने वाला नहीं है.
Many communities like Nadras exist all around the world. If they need help, they have to travel many miles to find a doctor in a faraway village. Islamic Relief has made it a priority to establish health projects in many developing countries, each designed to address the community's needs. Immediate food aid and emergency shelter are not enough to restore normalcy in the lives of those affected by disaster. Islamic Relief believes the road out of poverty requires faith and support. This is why Islamic Relief establishes income generation projects that facilitate ways for beneficiaries to achieve self-sufficiency.
We bring this crushing machine into the area where they then recycle the blocks that they used to build their houses in the past, so they can then use this as building material for the future.
Given the opportunity to work and rebuild their own livelihoods, These people will likely not rely on humanitarian aid in the future. Special times of year call for special gifts to help those living in poverty. This is why Islamic Relief provides food packages and fresh meat for needy people during the seasonal giving times of Ramadan and Udhiyah Qurbani. These gifts of charity not only fulfill the religious obligations of donors, but they also help beneficiaries worldwide feel the spirit of a holiday they might not usually get to celebrate. Recognizing that poverty and suffering exist even within the United States, Islamic Relief USA coordinates domestic projects to aid those in need right here in our own backyard. Islamic Relief is the lead organizer of Day of Dignity, which coincides with the holy month of Ramadan, a day of providing the poorest in the nation with food, clothing, medical care, and social services. For Gulf victims of Hurricane Katrina, Islamic Relief gave over $3 million in aid and was one of the few relief organizations that remained and continued to provide assistance for Katrina victims long after the emergency phase was over. The need is there. The need is tangible. It is in the words spoken by those who are suffering. Islamic Relief works diligently to alleviate poverty, illiteracy, suffering, and disease in the most disadvantaged areas around the world. A hand to the widow, a meal to the starving child, an education to those without resources. All we have to do is think, care, and act.